it just comes down to our preparation. We've had a couple of good meetings around our mindset. We addressed it going into that Leinster week. We didn't play the way we wanted to play. We've reviewed that game now and we move forward, kind of putting everything behind us and making sure our prep is as good as it can be for this week. It seems to be sort of back and forth against Ulster. Every time they play at Thomond Park, we get up, and every time we play up there, they get up. So, it's certainly going to be a challenge going up there with the travel and the crowd and all of that. And we I guess that's the disappointing thing out of that Leinster game. We had our chance to not be in this position. But our focus for Ulster is very similar to the last game that we played against them. They've got a very good set piece, both scrum and maul, particularly maul though. Very conscious of that. They're very good at the breakdown. They've got a really good tackle completion percentage as well, best in the competition. So they're very good defensively. They've got a very good kicking game as well. So we've addressed those three things really: the set piece, the breakdown battle, and their kicking game.
Going up to Ravenhill again, we know how on it we were the last time and how ready we were for the physical battle. Their breakdown, their defence is one of the top defences in the league in terms of their tackle completion and everything. So we know how tough it's going to be up there and how well prepped we've to be. Yeah, I suppose if there's one positive of having to wait an extra week to play the game, you get that chance to get the review out of your system and get back on the training field and kind of start rolling the momentum again and getting the ball up and running and creating a good atmosphere within the squad and going up to Ulster and having a real crack off it. So no, I think that's probably an excuse we can't use this Friday night, because we've had that time to get over it and gee ourselves up again. Like you said, we're only human at the end of the day, but I think we've had enough time to get through it and wipe the slate clean and prep for a quarter final. The young players across the whole group has given this whole squad a bit of new life, a bit of new energy. And it's an ultra competitive squad. It's probably the most competitive squad I've been involved with Munster in my time here. And there's a real learning environment here. The environment Steve has created, especially with the backs. It's ultra competitive. There's always some sort of competition on the training days that you can't just cruise through the week. It's the training week is an ultra competitive training week, and those young lads they're leading it, to be honest with you. They're really hungry to see game time, to get in the squads, to get in the starting 15 or the match day 23, and they're pushing the more experienced players day in, day out. So it's been really refreshing, to be honest with you. You're coming into training and it's going to be a competitive day. There's going to be high intensity training where you're going to have to perform because the squad is that competitive, and unless you're performing at a high level, you know what I mean, there's a fella there ready to step in and take his opportunity. So it's I'm sure if you asked all the older players or the more experienced players, there's a really competitive environment in Munster at the moment, and I think that's, bar a few performances, Leinster being the latest one, bar a few performances like that, we've been a really consistent side this year, and I think that comes from the training week and the amount of players we have pushing for positions.